Okay.
Okay, once again, we are here at JD's Bar and Grill in Alhambra, California. I'm with Danny Diaz, the legend.
Yahoo!
What's up, Danny?
Just playing, having a good time, enjoying with all my dear friends.
You know,
It's great. It's great to be here with all our friends and family. It's, you couldn't ask for anything better than that, really.
A reunion, huh?
and Danny is like one of the most incredible guitar players you've ever seen perform, and to hear him perform, he's taught so many of the musicians around that we've all performing together with. You perform, let's see, Carlos De La Paz, you taught.
Right, Carlos De La Paz,
Ronnie Reyes.
Wow.
George Dez, Jimmy and Joey Delgado, both.
How about Jimmy Imperial?
No, I never had the pleasure of Jimmy, but Jimmy was a great guitar player
Rest
in his
in
own
peace.
right. He's a great guitar player,
Yes.
dear friend. He will certainly be missed in the music industry, that's for sure.
It's already coming up, I think, on a year since
Yeah,
he died in October.
A year since he passed away.
Yeah, we lost a great guitar player.
But he's never be forgotten, ever,
That's
by
right.
any of us.
So,
Never.
what got you started playing guitar?
I just, actually, believe it or not, listening to Johnny Cash and the Tennessee Three, I like that chicka-tum sound, and it got me into a groove to make me want to play like that. And so I went out and bought some albums of Johnny Cash and started listening to the Tennessee Three. And during that period of time, I listened to Buddy Holly,
Oh, yes.
Richie Valens,
Great performers.
and I went through that era, and then later in the '60s, I went through the Cream thing with Cream,
Eric.
and Jimi Hendrix,
Wow.
all the great guys of that period, and still are even to this day.
And you made a mark because everyone came to you
Yes,
to learn how to play guitar.
right. I was one of the first instructors. I taught at Johnny Thompson's.
Here in Alhambra?
In Monterey Park. I taught guitar there for almost 10 years, and I think 1970 through 1977 was my last year, and then I went on the road and played with the Morton Downey Jr. show, and played with a lot of different bands. So many I can't remember all of them, but
I know. Really.
when I started, I was 15 years old. My first rock and roll band was called the Fabulous Sportsmen, and I was only 15 years old. And our first gig, we made $5, and at that time, $5 was a lot of money. But today, you couldn't even
Buy a
buy
hamburger.
a hamburger with it. So yeah, I've gone through all the different eras of great music, jazz, blues, rock, country, funk, soul, everything.
At the Monterey West, did you perform?
Yeah, I performed at the Monterey West with the great late Johnny Alonso and his band.
Yes.
And I played with Bill Bontempo and his group over in Arcadia, a place it used to be called Tommy T's.
I
And
remember that place.
I played there for many, many years, and we had a great time there. And then later on, I played with a group called Chico, and I played on all their CDs.
Manny Fernandez was the drummer, wasn't he?
Right,
Yeah, I
Manny
remember
Fernandez. And then later, after when I left Chico, since I've been independent, I've gone on my own, but I've got to play with different people, like Hanley Page and his band, with Rudy Roman and his band. Played with Jumping Jack Benny.
Oh yeah, another bad boy right there. Awesome.
Jumping Jack Benny's another.
A lot of energy.
Yeah, he never stops.
Love performing with him.
Yeah. And so I've been blessed with so many great musicians. I mean, like I said, I'm 73 now, but when I started, I was only like 14 or 15 years old. So
And we
blessed
got
all
to
the
perform
time.
together too. So
Right.
several
With
times.
Bobby Figueroa. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bobby Figueroa,
From the Beach Boys. Yeah.
touring member of the Beach Boys, played
Yeah.
drums with them for many years, keyboard players.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So I mean, I can't remember all the people I played with, and I'm talking about years and years. I mean, there's some groups I played with over 20 years, you know.
Yeah,
and
it's
within
hard to
that 20
remember.
years, I've played with several different bands besides that. So yeah, it's
I got to ask you.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the Tikis over on Potrero Grande?
oh, Patiki's was at that time was a real hot spot. You had a lot of groups that were very kind of experimental. Like you had the Seven Souls of, remember, and they did tributes to not only rock singers, but they would do Sinatra and they would do Tony Bennett. I mean,
stuff.
they could do everything. I mean, the Seven Souls of something I can't remember, but they were a very popular band. And there used to be a place called the Plush Bunny on Whittier Boulevard. A lot of groups came from that era at that time.
And Ricky's Skyroom.
Yeah, Ricky's Skyroom. I played there many years, and Ricky's Skyroom had so many fantastic players. Oh, the keyboard player that I played with there, Steve Verdugo,
Oh yes.
and Steve was fantastic. And then I worked with Steve when his wife Lydia was a great vocalist, and I think Steve and Lydia are still. I don't know if they're still working together or not, but anytime you ever get a chance to see them, go see them. They're really fantastic.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Wow,
You know.
you're a legend. You really are a legend.
Well,
And
Yeah.
you
I appreciate
taught
that.
legends.
Yeah.
That you're
Yeah.
their teacher. You're the master.
yeah.
The mentor.
Can I shine your shoes or something?
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I've been blessed. Like one of my students, Mike Albert.
Oh,
He
man.
played with El Chicano, and then he also played with
Megadeth.
Megadeth, and he was one of my few students that played metal. Most of my students were blues and jazz, but he especially liked metal, and he was great at it, and he still is. And he's got his own thing going, and Mike has worked with the daughter of Ravi Shankar.
Really?
And he's been to India and performed over there. Mike Albert has his own brand new CD, probably by now his second one, and it's doing quite well, as I
Ravi
understand.
Shankar.
Yeah.
For most of you who don't know who that is, he's in India, performed along the side with George Harrison for many years.
Yes.
So he taught George Harrison how to play. What was that?
The sitar.
Sitar. There you
Yeah.
go. So
Which is a fantastic instrument and a most complicated one to learn.
yes. And George Harrison just picked it up.
Yeah. And just, even like now, the two things that I'm really proud of, I'm doing a rock and roll CD with another legend, but I didn't teach him. I learned some things from him, though, that were real important. The great Andy Tessel
Yes.
from the Romancers band. So Andy and
Love
I
Andy.
joined forces together, and I'm part of the Andy Tessel and the Rockers. We have our own CD coming out shortly, and then I have my own jazz CD with a lot of the people that I just mentioned. Most of them are all my students that I played with
Oh, that's
on
awesome.
guitar, bass, drums,
Love that.
you name it. I've got over 30 musicians playing on my CD, and I can hardly wait for you guys to hear it. And
Yeah,
I'm real
for
proud. I'm
sure.
real proud of it. It's a life endeavor. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time,
Nice.
and I finally got to do it. So with the rock CD, Andy Tessel and the Rockers, and my own jazz CD, that keeps me pretty busy, along with working and being with all you fine people. You know.
Danny,
Wow.
man, you've been a pleasure seeing you again. Hope to work with you again in the future.
Oh yes,
Man, you take
anytime,
care.
anytime, bro.
And we get a reunion going on stage.
For sure.
So here we are
right.
at JD's Bar and Grill in Alhambra. We just want to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share.
Share.
Thank you so
Comment.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.